one time for the home team. Know what I mean? Yeah. I rep for the home team. Rep it up. Reppin' the home team. Rep it up. I'm reppin' the home team. You think you can hold me? Wow. Reppin' the home team. Wow. Going in OT. I'm reppin' the home team. Rep it up. You think you can hold me? Woo. Home team. Home team. Home team going OT. 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 Home team. Home team. Don't know. Yo team. We been going hard since 03. Mike drop. Kobe.
Skip Bayless Jr.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry. Shannon Sharp
All right.
Jr.
You sound like Skip over there.
Look at Conrad. Stupid. All right, yo. All right. Hey, look. Welcome back. This is the new year. Thank you so much for joining us, MTMV Sports. We are back. This is the Huddle Up with MTMV Sports. Geek to have on with us today. Miles Austin, Jeremiah Thomas, Conrad Hilton. The Voice is here, and Will Smith. And I'm Rick Sincere. I'm your host for today. We will be talking about a few different topics. We'll start off with talking about probably one of the most, actually, it wasn't that shocking. It was the fall of Tom Brady and the Patriots to the Tennessee Titans in the wild card round. We'll talk about that. I predicted it actually before it actually went down. I went on somebody's show and just kind of talked about it. But the question is not that it happened, but what does it mean, right? What does it all mean? What's going to happen from here on out? What does this mean for the NFL? Where do we move from here, and what happens from here? Voice, you look ready to go. Talk to me.
No, don't
it
let
means the beginning of the end. And I must say, as a lifelong resident of the St. Louis metropolitan area, I am so glad to see the beginning of the demise. This man began his ascent, and I'm speaking about Tom Brady because for real, that's all it's about. It's about time. Yeah, you talk about the system and all that, but really it's time. Or let me rephrase that. We'll see if it's more than time once he's gone, because he, or I should say the Patriots, did like the city of St. Louis, and they did not seal the deal while he was under contract. They allowed the contract to expire. They couldn't come together on terms. And just like the Rams left us, I believe that time is moving on to a different place.
Okay.
And we'll see if this so-called system is good. I mean, they still videotaping people, so they probably still do all right.
Look, let's be honest here. All right, JT. Look, I'm gonna come to your defense a little bit. All right, so now we can talk about the demise of Brady or demise of the Patriots, but you still have to see and take into account he had nobody on that offense to throw to.
Nobody.
Like, let's be honest. He's still Tom Brady. Because think about it. If we're gonna put this into perspective, he still had 12 wins and 4,000 plus yards with that trash offense he had all season.
With no receivers.
I don't understand. Like, I'm excited. JT, this is where I'll have to turn on you. I am excited to see the Patriots out of the playoffs. I'm very excited.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, if he had better receivers, like, they might be in the Super Bowl again. Like, the defense was top notch. The run defense obviously needed work because Derrick Henry gave him 180 plus. But other than that, like, they almost won the game. Like, they lost, but they weren't demolished. I don't know where Tom Brady is next season. I don't know what he's gonna do, but at the same time, like, I don't think he's over. I think it's still got a couple more years you put in with a good offense.
Okay, so it's like this. Tom Brady's coming back, 1-year contract, hometown discount.
But he's been discounting his whole career, right?
Yeah, but man, listen, like, Tom Brady, he's not going nowhere else. I don't see him going nowhere else, honestly. He can, but
you don't want to see him go nowhere.
Right, I don't want to see him go nowhere else.
Like everybody just gave stink face, bro.
But I'm saying, by the same time, though, like, we had a 12-win season with only Julian Edelman, and who else? Mohamed Sanu did not turn out to be a good receiver for us. And our running backs pretty much turned into receivers because James White balled out. Typically, do what he do.
Sony Michel.
Sony Michel did what he did. Like we did our offense pretty much ran through Julian Edelman, Sony Michel, James White. Take away those three guys. I don't know who else our receivers were.
Look, at the end of the day, they gave this man hell all season, and he won 12 games and threw over 4,000 yards.
But a part of that, though, is part of our defense. Like, this probably was the best defense we've had statistically in a while.
Oh, the defense was top notch.
Did you have great defense, or did you play a cupcake schedule?
Yeah, the defense was overrated.
Hold on.
When they played good teams, they lost to the good teams.
I don't think we played.
I know the Chiefs are happy.
Well, the defense was overrated.
Man, I know
when they played against Houston, they played against Baltimore, they lost. They played against the Chiefs, they lost. When they beat sorry teams, and the defense looked better than what they were.
Did you want to see Tom Brady in that defense in the playoffs, though?
The reason we lost to those teams,
nope.
I'm saying the reason we lost to those teams, realistically, you got a running quarterback. Our linebackers aren't that fast.
Bruh. Like,
that's just helping the argument that your defense ain't that great when you got slow linebackers.
Famo, you started off with the Dolphins. After that, the Jets. The biggest thing was the Bills. Right after that, it's the Redskins, the Giants, the Jets again, the hapless Browns. Right? You ran into a buzzsaw when you saw the Ravens. Then you faced the Eagles, hapless. The Cowboys, hapless. Then you faced the Texans, took that L. Then there was Chiefs, took that L. Then you beat the Bengals after you taped them. Then you played the Bills.
But they've been in the same conference for God knows how long. Wasn't nobody saying that when they won six rings?
Actually, we were saying it.
Everybody was saying they play in a weak conference. Everybody knows they play in a weak conference.
It's not our fault. Our conference is weak. That's not my fault.
That's fact.
Hey, bro, don't call us weak. First off, our conference ain't that weak. First off, when we come and show up to doggone Boston, we show up, all right? Miami out here, cuz straight like that. On my mama, on my daddy, on my homie,
hey,
everybody.
Miami was out there one time, and that was cool. All right, so they really were. All right, guys. So we need to move on to the next thing. There was another very troubling situation this weekend when the Vikings upset the New Orleans Saints. And I don't understand it, and a lot of people don't understand it. Venora, you're here. Welcome. What was your reaction to that loss?
I was shocked, but I wasn't like that shocked. I kind of watched the entire game. Drew Brees, it's the end of the old quarterbacks. So like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, it's time for them to go because they're just too old. And I was sad that like the Saints lost because of a lot of Saints fans and a lot of they're close friends, but it's time. It's time to move in a different direction. Like the Saints offense could not wake up for most of the game until like towards the end. So it's just like
speak your truth, sis.
Talk your
stuff. So it's just like at this point,
Bob the Builder?
It's time for some changes. So I was upset that Kirk Cousins beat them, but it is what it is.
Let me get the Saints' perspective on just a quick question. I don't want you to expand on anything else, Rick. Okay? Answer one question. Did Rudolph push off? Is it an offensive pass interference?
He did push off.
Was it a pass interference?
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Stop lying, bro. No, he did not. That wasn't a push off.
It was
definitely PJ Williams just extended his arm.
He pushed off.
Definitely pushed off.
Extended his arm.
No,
PJ Williams just sucked.
That play didn't make him lose.
PJ Williams just sucked.
That's not why we lost.
Come on,
because PJ Williams sucked. Your DB sucked. They suck.
Not all of our DBs suck.
The DBs suck.
Just a few of them.
Just a few.
How many defensive backs do you have on a team?
Wasn't Lattimore out?
It's just a few defensive backs.
All right.
Why are the defensive backs trash, bro? Come on, man.
Dolphin, please. So
at least we show up in games. At least we show up
To lose,
bro.
Hey, bro, we show up.
Y'all gonna show up to the draft.
You won't get a whole 4 quarters out of us.
Y'all gonna show up to the draft.
Believe that.
We show up. Get out of here.
Y'all gonna get a full 4 quarters out of us. Please believe that.
Okay, let's speak something that's actually logical. Vanora made a real good point. She said that the passing of the guard is happening this season.
That's not true.
Eli out. Wait. Just wait.
Bro, it's gone, bro. Dude gonna be 41.
Out.
Wait. Give him the floor. Give him the floor.
Eli's out. Breeze is out. Brady is out. Rivers is out. All of these great quarterbacks that have been around forever.
Rodgers on the way.
Rodgers. Is he's waiting till next week, or are they out too?
No. The
Packers playing Sunday.
Okay. He's the last of the Mohicans.
Russell Wilson gonna let him have it.
Yeah, but you have the emergence of the Deshaun Watsons, the Patrick Mahomeses. Give me somebody else.
Lamar Jackson.
Thank you, Lamar Jackson.
It's Patrick down in Miami.
So okay, let's say
the Fitzmagics. Yeah, man, we out here.
Y'all might
can't take you serious.
James Winston.
Hey, look, okay. Hey, I understand. I see what Vanora's saying, right? It makes a lot of sense. Where this year, I mean, all the guys who have really, set the story for the NFL, they're all gone, right? It's absolutely true. They are all gone. We're in that situation where all those guys are out of it. And for many Saints fans, that sucks. Right? Really.
Yeah.
But you got a jack of all trades behind. Like, you got somebody who's willing to do something. I think Taysom Hill looks absolutely amazing back there. Now the question is,
don't get lost. Don't get lost.
Bro, listen,
he ain't it.
As a restricted free agent, the question is, what are y'all gonna do? That's the question.
He ain't it.
That's what you got to
Taysom ain't it.
He got that sauce, bro. Taysom got that sauce, bro.
Huh?
I'm saying he's not the future of the team. He's not the quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater could possibly be the backup to carry the Saints franchise another 3-4 years.
No, he ain't it either.
As a backup?
No.
He can be their backup for 3 to 4 years?
No, as a starter, I'm saying Breeze gonna probably have another 1 year left.
Breeze is coming back.
So who's it?
I think the person who's it is the person who gets drafted this year. You look at that offense with Teddy Bridgewater, and I love Teddy, and what Teddy has done for the city and what the city has done for Teddy. They fall in love with Teddy. We love Teddy, but Teddy's not it, right?
So you let go of Taysom?
Say it again. Taysom's not it either. Like, Sean Payton has teased that Taysom.
Him go?
No, you don't let him go anywhere.
Okay.
You keep him no matter what, because he's a baller. He's a baller. But is he the quarterback for the team? You watch him in preseason, he's not accurate most of the time, right? He's throwing the ball all over the place. He needs more time to develop, or that's not his deal. So I'm not saying Taysom is it. I can't say Teddy's it, and I can't say Taysom's it. All right.
Guess what the Patriots gonna do though? They're gonna draft Tua Tagovailoa.
What?
Hey, you better shut your mouth
because of the injury.
You better shut your mouth.
I'm saying.
We think Tua. You better shut your mouth.
We're going offensive line and receiver.
Like that.
We're going offensive line and receiver.
No, we're not.
We probably going to draft 3 receivers in this draft.
Yes, y'all gonna go off the line. Receiver.
All right. So let's go on to our next topic, guys. So the next thing we need to talk about is kind of what's going on in the MMA. Voice, talk to us, bro. What's popping?
Well, I actually like to talk a little boxing, but in the MMA world, we do have Conor McGregor making his return after over a year out. He'll be fighting Cowboy Cerrone on the 18th of January. We're going to save that conversation for next week, though, since it'll be a little closer to it. Canelo dropped his 175-pound title that he just won, in November. Dropped that belt, so it was a one-and-done deal. His trainer said that he's going to fight 2 of the following people in 2020. Triple G, Callum Smith, Jamel Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and Billy Joe Saunders. My question to the team is, of those 5, which 2 do you think he should fight?
Say the names again.
We've got Triple G, Callum Smith, the current WBA super middleweight champion, Jamal Charlo, who is the WBC middleweight champion, a title which Canelo holds the franchise title of. So it really doesn't make sense to fight him for a belt that he just gave up to give to them to get this trumped up belt. Demetrius Andre, who's a WBO middleweight titleist, and Billy Joe Saunders, who I think he's a WBO super middleweight champion. So at 168. And remember, he's coming down from 175.
The last time Canelo fought Triple G, what was the reaction to that?
People think that it was either a draw or he may have just edged Triple G out in that one. Now, here's the thing with that fight. DAZN has both Triple G and Canelo, and they signed Triple G after Canelo with the hopes of putting together that trilogy fight. Triple G did not look good whatsoever in October when he lost to Derevyanchenko. Some people had it for Derevyanchenko. Myself, I saw it the way that it was. It was a really close fight, 15-13 for Triple G, but he got put through the paces with someone that before the fight, nobody really knew anything about. Strong fighter, tough fighter, just someone that people didn't know about. He has a mandatory coming up in February, and Canelo will be fighting again in May. I think it's too close time-wise for that fight to be made. If anything, I think he will fight Triple G in the fall at the September date. But in May, he's got to fight somebody. And honestly, I think probably Callum Smith is the logical choice because Canelo currently holds a version of the WBA belt, secondary title. So it'd be easy to make a fight with the full champion, which is Callum Smith, who's also on DAZN. As a matter of fact, all these people, except for Charlo, are on DAZN. So making those fights should be fairly simple. And again, it doesn't make sense to fight Charlo to get a belt that you just gave up. And you still have a belt with that organization.
So for Canelo, he actually Triple G would have to fight somebody else and look impressive in order to make a Canelo Triple G3 matter.
No, because of the history, it's going to matter. And I think actually Triple G probably did himself a favor by looking the way that he looked in that last fight because he's not so scary anymore. His age is catching up with him. So Canelo's like, okay, he may be thinking I can fight him now because I should be able to blow him out and then I can be done with everything. I feel like I won every fight, even though you didn't.
I'd be more interested in a Canelo Triple G3. If I'm looking at the list, I mean, it's probably not the most exciting of the fights that you gave us choice, but it seems like the most I guess box worthy to me.
Agreed. It definitely has the most name value. The other fights don't have it as quite the recognition. And again, I believe that fight will happen. I think that'll happen in September. But he still has to fight somebody in May. And that's the question, is who is he going to fight in May?
Cool. But from your standpoint, let me ask you this question. I think that'll have the most name recognition. Which one will be the best fight?
There you go.
Best fight, I think, would be Smith.
What do we want to see?
I think Callum Smith would be the best fight for him because it'll be a true test because it's a true 168er, and he'll be fighting at 168. He's coming down in weight just one division from the 175 he just fought at, and he poses a great challenge. Demetrius Andre probably has the best chance of beating him, but I think from a stylistic perspective, the fight that would be the most entertaining to watch will be Callum Smith.
Awesome. Yo, Miles, talk to me, man. What's going on with these Lakers? 20 blocks the other night. Something that we haven't seen. I don't know if you guys have seen stuff like that before. This won't make the boys happy. But there's 20 blocks, man. I mean, these Lakers are they're doing well. They didn't do well on Christmas, but that's fine, right? They've bounced back.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, they've bounced back
Why
pretty
not?
well.
What happened? And who won on Christmas?
Hey man, chill out, bro.
They've bounced back pretty well. Talk to us about this Lakers team, man. What are their and look, my last thing is AD didn't sign that re-up. So he'll become a free agent in the offseason. What's up, man? What's going on with these Lakers right now?
Let's talk to let's talk to what's happening right now in LA. Obviously, we had a seismic shift as Kawhi decided to join the Clippers and bring Paul George with him. So that Battle of LA thing to me is kind of on a one level. They beat us twice, whatever. But we're talking about the number one team in the Western Conference, as well as a top defensive team. You mentioned the 20 blocks before. This is a team that is ready to play defense. That's who. Why am I forgetting my coach's name? Frank Vogel. That's been his identity since he's been in the league. He had a bad
LeBron
stint.
James.
He had a bad stint in Orlando, but those Indiana teams going back and forth with Miami, we knew exactly what he was bringing to the table. So to bring in defensive kind of specialists, even as older veteran players in the Avery Bradley or Danny Green who can play good wings, KCP is coming up and doing this thing. KCP started the season off not doing too well. So he's been a key person off the bench and as well as in that starting unit. But when you talk about 20 blocks, that's something that to me can be surprising to other people. But I feel like we could do that on a nightly basis. Like it should be something where when you have Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and people in there, and still got DeMarcus Cousins on the bench waiting to heal up. So I think this team can be something great. I have heard the rumors talking about Kyle Kuzma and his trade packages who are possible for him to come in. I don't believe that we should even entertain it. I've seen some of the trade packages that don't really make sense to me. But you got to think as February 6th, the trade deadline for the NBA approaches, there are going to be a lot of teams looking at trying to finish that second half of the season and go on a title run. You look at teams like a Boston who's Danny Ainge. That's just who he is. He's always looking for something. He's always looking at the table. Talk about the Clippers, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Bucks. Some of these top teams are most of these teams who are in the middle of the pack trying to figure out. We just need one more piece, and we think we can make a run for it. So I think the rest of the NBA is going to be interesting. But these teams, like what Luka Doncic is doing right now, is unimaginable, and what the product that he's putting on the court, 30-point triple doubles, leading the league in that. The dude is a beast in what he's doing, and he's 20 years old or 21 years old. Like you didn't expect to see this from this guy so soon. I think it's the same thing when you look at a team like the Hawks, who are seem to be in every game, just can't seem to finish. With Trae Young is giving you 40 points, and Jason Collins is out for 25 games due to the PD suspension. I think the trade deadline, as that's coming in, a lot of teams are going to be cemented for the second half of the season. Andre Drummond seems to be on the block. Andre Iguodala seems to be on the block. I think there's a lot of teams. Blake Griffin just got a season-ending knee surgery today, so I think Detroit's going to kind of shut it down and get ready for the rebuild. So, I think the Lakers have a great chance of making it to the finals. Obviously, we know what team we got to go through.
I got to ask this question though, man. I got to know, and I want to ask Benora. Benora, are they too old to get it done?
Man, once again, like age is going to catch up with some people because Blake Griffin hurt again. Like this is a common thing. The older you get, those limbs start snapping. So it's just age is going to catch up.
Hey, Miles, I do got a question though, Miles.
What's up?
So do you think the Hawks have a chance to really get Andre Drummond? Like, what package do you think can be put together to get Drummond?
I think it's going to be different because Andre has a big contract. Obviously, he's been a very big, vital piece of Detroit. However, he has shown that he's able to play next to another superstar or another all-star down there in the paint. So I don't see him and John. I think something can happen with John Collins. Now it's going to have to be some draft picks, and we're not going to be able to match the money. That's the hard part of it. You're going to be able to get close, but not be able to match it completely. So, when you're talking about bringing a Drummond in who can play next to a Collins and Trae Young, you're talking about building for the future. This season's it's a wrap for the Hawks. It's not really, you're not coming back from that. You're not trying to make the playoffs. You're trying to build something for the future. So bringing in an Andre Drummond to give somebody like somebody who Trae Young who can drop 40 points, has great court vision, and can give you 12 assists if he wanted to. Putting somebody like a just pure rebounder in Andre Drummond, it could definitely happen, bro. I don't think it's far off as we think it is. The Hawks were the first one to the table, and as he became readily available, more teams are jumping in. But I definitely think the Hawks would be a good destination for my boy Andre.
Yeah, but I'm thinking.
Hold on 1 second. We got something popping off this weekend, man. We got to talk about and address. We haven't heard much yet, so I need to hear something from Will. Bro, you got the Texans playing the Chiefs this week. Most people believe that the Texans will walk in and beat the Chiefs. How do you feel about that? And do you think that those people are, absolutely, nonsensical?
I wonder who those most people are, because that ain't what I've been hearing. And
you talk to
I just don't. What is that? Nah, I don't see that happening. Especially with the Chiefs have been on a mission since the start of the season. Like, they know it's like Super Bowl is the goal. That's the big thing. And the defense has improved throughout the season. In the last 6 games of the season, the Chiefs have had the number 1 defense in scoring like 11 point something points per game. And for those 5 games before the last game, they held teams to like 9 points. And so the defense has vastly improved. The first game, the Chiefs were actually winning that game and blowing the Texans out. And the Texans did come back and win. But during that game, people forget that Mahomes was still on the injured ankle. And I could tell when he was dropping back to pass, he was kind of hobbled when he was passing, but he was still throwing darts. And so Chris Jones also did.
So what you're saying is they would have won if they didn't lose.
I'm saying the Chiefs are a different team now. And he got jokes for his team now. Denver's watching us. So
what if they didn't lose?
Just wait till next year, buddy.
On that couch, that's what they doing. So, but anyway,
they would have
won. Different defense.
Tyrann
Mathieu was playing like the Honey Badger. Frank Clark is playing like Frank Clark. Frank Clark was playing through an injury. He's fully healthy now. Chris Jones didn't play that game. Sammy Watkins didn't play that game. You got to injure Mahomes. So now we have a fully healthy team. We have the offense complementing the defense, or the defense complementing the offense, but we can make plays on defense. Our secondary is one of the best secondaries in the league. And so
number two.
One of Houston's weaknesses is their pass defense. So that plays to our strength. Now, what we have to stop is the run game. We have to stop Deshaun Watson, like when he gets out of the pocket. Can we stop him from getting yards? Can we stop? We're going to have to put a stop to Carlos Hyde. You know what I'm saying? He had a good game that game, and we were struggling with the run defense during that time. But our run defense has improved since we got Mike Pennell. I think we got him off of Green Bay, had cut him, and he's been a staple in that run defense. And Chris Jones is actually doing better against the run. We have the addition of Terrell Suggs, who can set the edge and play better against the run than what we had. You know what I'm saying? So
does it scare you that JJ Watt is back?
Not for real. We've beaten the Texans with JJ Watt. You know what I'm saying, when they've had JJ Watt playing. So I'm not really concerned about that. We can actually use his aggressiveness on the pass rush. You know, we run screens quite a bit, and Damian Williams is dangerous in that screen game. And that's one difference in the Chiefs offense is Damian Williams is getting back to doing Damian Williams things. You know what I'm saying?
I've been saying one thing. I think the key piece to Texans winning that game is going to be Duke Johnson. I think his play, like out the backfield, his change of pace. I think he's gonna be that key piece. That's just my perspective.
I mean, we have struggled a little bit with the running backs coming out of the backfield in the pass game, but I think that's something that Spags is going to be looking out for. And then you have to think about Andy Reid coming off a bye week. He always does well off a bye week. You got to think about there's some plays that they haven't even shown yet just for this. And he has pat plays that they haven't even ran yet. And you just think about you think about the genius of Andy Reid and designing offenses and plays. He can run a play like, oh yeah, we remember that, but it's a whole different play, even though they run it out of the same set. So
I've been to the Super Bowl one time and lost. All right.
What?
Yo, we got one
Hey,
more.
who did he
For
lose
one
to?
time.
Will,
Hey, who did he lose to?
Will, does
Uh,
Will question?
Yeah.
Does the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year?
Yes, sir.
Is
I
this,
believe
is
they
this,
will.
is this
I
how
think
y'all
this is
feel when
it.
I talk about the Lakers?
What you said?
I'm like, I'm feeling it. It's just stank.
How do you
Stank on
feel?
my face.
It's stank
Real,
face.
real stank on my face.
You shouldn't
We
feel
got,
that way,
we
man.
got we got number 2 secondary. We gonna win the
If you
Super
look at
Bowl.
the Chiefs team, bro, they're great. Like they have a
They're
great team.
well constructed. They're
They have
very
they have a well constructed team. Now, are they built to beat the Ravens? Is the big thing, right? Now they've beat the Ravens earlier this year, and that's kind of what they're banking on. The question is, have the Ravens made enough improvements on their team in order to face this Chiefs team and really give them problems? The other big question is, will the Ravens get past the Titans, because they've been surprising, right? So I mean,
They'll
you know,
get past them, though.
I don't see the Titans beating the Ravens. I mean, they have the
their
ability
defense
to,
is
but I
good,
don't think
though.
they will.
Look, you really may not. At the same time, that defense is legit, and the offense is really tough. But I mean, anything can happen. It's the playoffs,
Where their
and
offense
Derrick
runs
Henry's a
through
lot
Derrick
bigger than Mark
Henry.
Ingram. All right,
See,
so
their offense runs through Derrick Henry. Baltimore has enough weapons on defense, or to basically stop. If you stop Derrick Henry, that offense ain't gonna be nothing. Because then you have to put it in Ryan Tannehill's hand for the passing game. Now he can make some plays,
no.
but he's not gonna be. He's not gonna carry the team on his shoulders to where he's gonna win the game for you.
Yeah, him and AJ Brown can get it done. Against that defense, I don't see it, but in most situations they're okay. All right, guys, I gotta hop on and talk about this last thing before we go. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the LSU Tigers, right?
I told y'all.
What?
I came hard to help
you.
If we didn't mention that the LSU Tigers are in the championship game that happens next Monday, right? And they're playing against the Clemson Tigers. No matter what happens, the Tiger will walk away a champion. The question is, which Tiger do we believe in the most, right? Which Tigers?
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah. Talk that good talk.
The ones that have won it most recently.
Here we go. So amongst us all, there shall be a hater. If you are this hater, please speak now or forever hold your mic.
What?
Ever hold your mic?
Look,
I think it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
I want Conrad to go in, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be a good game. As a fan, as a fan of the Orange Tigers, I think it's gonna be super good. I mean, LSU looks amazing, and it may be their year, but I don't think it comes hard. That's a nice purple you got there, man. I'm shocked at Trevor Lawrence. He a Cartersville guy, man. I got to. Go ahead, Conrad. Let us know what's up, baby.
All right.
You got a lot of purple over there, bro.
So, yeah, man. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the reigning national champs in this one.
Come on, boy. Talk your stuff. Talk your stuff, bro.
The reason being because
tell them why.
Because you a hater.
Because Joe Burrow.
You don't know no other way.
It's so Joe Burrow. I can't go against him, man. He's so good, but like Trevor Lawrence did something to Ohio State. Trevor Lawrence took Ohio State's soul after they tried to take his. They're like, "Oh, you gonna hit me hard? Okay, I'm gonna take your soul," and that's what happened.
Shake my hand, sir.
I think Joe Burrow lights up Clemson's defense, but I think Trevor Lawrence is the same. I do. But I'm going to stop being a troll of this one. I'm going to go with LSU. I'm being a troll.
Chill out, bro.
I got to go with LSU.
It's not going to be close.
Joe Burrow's amazing. I'm sorry. It's not going to be close, bro.
It's not going to be close.
I
go against
on my spreadsheet,
I can't go.
I have LSU winning by 28.
Against them, man.
28.
Say that again, JT.
I have LSU winning by 28. We'll tell you that.
Who want money on it? I'll put money on it right now.
Well, I was gonna say
LSU
all bettors.
We're going down the wrong path.
I'll put a double on it right now. What's up?
I ain't gonna do that.
Clemson.
We don't gamble here.
Talking about $2.
But here's my thing though.
We bet push-ups here.
Text me later, bro. Who want 50 push-ups? What's up?
50 push-ups.
You taking the 28? You taking the minus 28?
I'm taking Clemson, homie.
You straight up. No points. Oh, bet.
Straight up.
Okay.
No points.
Look. I'm gonna say this, man. You guys are absolutely right. You look at the situation with Clemson versus Ohio State.
Absolutely right.
No, you're absolutely right. You look at Clemson versus Ohio State. I mean, honestly, I thought that game was over when Ohio State did reach in and try to take out his soul, right? I thought Trevor Lawrence was done, and I thought his day was going to be reminiscent of days I've seen from other quarterbacks who get into the mouth of a defense and then get swallowed up, and you never see them, emerge from that again. When he went on the sidelines, I thought that's a wrap. Clemson's done. It's now time for Ohio State to deal with LSU. That's what I thought was the situation. And then miraculously, I see this sunshine beam come from the sideline back behind center and then take his team and go all the way down the field consistently and beat that Ohio State team with one of the best players in the country on that defense. He faced in the mouth of that. He did extremely well. Clemson is built to win. Trevor Lawrence is built to be a successful quarterback. He's one of the most highly touted quarterbacks since Andrew Luck, straight up. Right? He is that guy. Now the question is, is that enough? Because this LSU team is built very similarly. They're built to win. They're built to be effective on offense, and they're built to go against defenses that are tougher than Clemson's. When they faced defense throughout the course of the season, they faced tougher defenses and more talented defenses than Clemson will present, and they shined, right? Georgia's defense is great. They shined on Georgia's defense, right? Every defense they've went up against, they've really taken it to them. The question is, for one, they'll be at home and home, right? They're going to be in the heart of Louisiana because all those Saints fans who put all their hopes and faith, their faith, their trust in the Saints, they're now saying, forget that, right? Who's that? I'm now a LSU fan, and they will be at the stadium cheering for those LSU Tigers, regardless of what the ticket price is, right?
Yep.
So
he made for this. Trevor made for this.
It's going to be a real huge, big-time LSU advantage there as far as the home field advantage is concerned. But outside of that, the question is Trevor Lawrence the type of quarterback that's legendary? That's the big question for me. Can he go in and do the unthinkable, beat LSU, led by the best quarterback they've ever had, almost in the history of that team? Can he go and beat that team in their home dome and really cause the state of Louisiana to full out cry? Is that possible?
Right? One thing that I know, there are white tigers, but there's not any purple tigers. So I'm gonna have to go with Miles. Miles said the orange.
Let's go, man.
So that's
Talk your stuff. Talk your stuff, boy. Hey, look.
I'm not sure.
JT, I know you doing something crazy over there talking about 28 points. I need you to get it together.
Now look, JT could be right.
No, he couldn't. He's absolutely wrong.
Listen.
Not even close.
Listen. This man put up 65 points against Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma. What?
I'm saying, but I'm
still
always
talking like how they're gonna get beat.
Big 12 ain't got no defense.
You talking about the team that barely got in?
When your number one receiver, the best receiver in the country, only have 2 catches.
Come on, bro.
2 catches.
You
Your
talking
number
about the team
2,
that
your
was
number
waiting
3,
for
and your
somebody
number 4
to get in? Come on, man.
Carried the game.
Come on, bro.
Your number one running back did not play that much.
29 straight wins. Let's go. We're about to make it 30 on this moment.
I ain't worried about the wins because ACC is weak. The ACC is weak.
Okay, so let's stop talking about it and put the 50 push-ups on the line. What's up?
Hey, you better shut your mouth about that, bro.
Come on,
bro. Catch this fade, cuz.
Yes or no?
Yo, are you doing it or are you not doing it?
Or Rick Sincere.
50 push-ups, yes or no?
Let's go. Let's run it.
Yep,
we're running it? All right, cool. Well, before we leave, Conrad bet me last time again, and he lost. So I'm gonna need 3 of those push-ups right quick.
Real quick. Can I get 3
then
from
we gonna
you
head
real
out.
quick?
Huh?
Can I get 3 from you real quick, bro? I appreciate
the way my camera works.
The way your camera works, I'm sure. I got 7 more, so I'm trying to figure out.
All right, hold on.
LSU.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna get mine in. Then Conrad gonna get mine.
There you go, Conrad. Make that happen, bro.
Can y'all see me?
Yes, sir,
bro.
But you owe some push-ups, Ernest?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, he do.
I just got into a car accident. I can't do nothing.
Y'all see me?
I can see you, bro.
All right, when my head come up, that count.
He doing the seal.
That's messed up, bro. That's messed
All
up.
right.
Bro. Yeah, okay.
I'll film me. I'll film mine.
Did y'all see me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
saw
I
your
saw
head
that.
come up, we don't know if that was a push-up.
I
Huh?
don't know what that was.
What
saw
y'all
your
talking
head.
about?
We
I
saw
thought
your little
you was
smile
probably
come
doing a
up.
worm or something. I don't know about no push-up.
That was
Centipede.
Yeah,
that was a push-up.
centipede.
Well, there we go. JT 50 online. Let's
Doing the
shake on that.
center worm. I don't know.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Look, I'll videotape myself doing it off camera. Well, actually, I'll do it and then I'll post it. All right, y'all.
All right.
Hey, before we go, everybody, let's sign out. All right, everybody, let's just say bye. Bye.
Don't be safe.
See ya.
All right, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, the national championship is my birthday.
That's
This
what's
is
up,
my
man.
birthday on the national championship.
Happy birthday, Conrad.
Cry on your
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Home team, yeah, reppin' the home team. I'm reppin' the home team, yeah. You think you can hold me? Reppin' the home team, yeah. Going in OT. I'm reppin' the home team, yeah. You think you can hold me? Woo. Home team, home team, home team, home team, going OT. Home team, home team, home team, going OT. Home team, home team.